I mean, you Nintendo fanboys don't say nothing to Nintendo, do you? Look at this. That is borderline insane. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nick. Now, we know that Nintendo fanboys are gonna ride for Nintendo. Nevertheless, if the Nintendo Switch 2 was $1,000, these boys say F work, put out a loan for $1,000 and buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm just saying. They even paid $80 for Mario Kart. For Mario Kart. Yes, this is not GTA 6 Mario Kart. But recently, Nintendo has said that they're going to be raising the prices of the Nintendo Switch 1. That console right there, they're going to be raising the prices of that. That came out almost 8 years ago. But before we get into all of that in today's video, let me know in the comment section below, have you bought the Nintendo Switch 2 and what are your thoughts and opinions on the console? But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into this video. The first thing that I talk about is Nintendo Switch 1 price increase. It is unbelievable to me that a console that came out 8 years ago has had a price increase when it has stayed the same price, the base Nintendo Switch by the way, that has stayed the same price throughout its whole lifetime. And now we get a price increase. This should be the time we have the Switch 2 that's out. Why is the Switch 1 increasing its price? People are still buying the Nintendo Switch 1. I just had a friend recently who bought the Switch 1 a month ago, and my little cousin also just bought the Nintendo Switch 1. Why? You know, the Nintendo Switch 2 out? Because nobody's gonna pay $450 or $500 to play Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza right now. There's only 2 first-party games to play on the Nintendo Switch 2 right now. And guess who did spend that $80? Nintendo fanboys. Man, hey, they saw Nintendo raise the price $80 Mario Kart. Oh, no crazy graphics, just Mario Kart. Spin it. And I'm not gonna lie, crazy enough to think about it, the Switch 1 might be the better console to buy. I'm just saying, the Switch 2 doesn't have an OLED screen. The Switch 1 does. Now, every Nintendo Switch 1 game is the exact same price. Mario Odyssey is still $60. The same price it had when it first came out. But guess what? The Nintendo Switch 2 lets you play a more advanced quality version of some of your Switch 1 games. And guess what? Nintendo has a small little fee for that. You want to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? $15 for it. For a game that came out almost 8 years ago and a game that came out almost 3-4 years ago to get better graphics, are you adding any content to the game? No new content. Just get more quality 4K, 1080p, better console, better hardware. I could play a PS4 version of Spider-Man Miles Morales and get a free day one update for the PS5. Nintendo don't give a fuck. They know y'all gonna buy it. They know y'all are gonna buy that stuff. And they will never change the price of it. I don't really want to give hate to the game developers of Nintendo because y'all do nothing wrong. Y'all make top tier games of all time. Games that are memorable and fun to play for generations to come. But who I will give hate to is that corporate side. They know their fan base is gonna eat it up. They know it. Now, I'm not beginning on you Nintendo fanboy, but let me tell you how you ruin stuff. Now, let's look at a new game that's supposed to be coming out next year. The biggest game of all time, I'm just going to say it. Grand Theft Auto 6. You guys paid $80 for Mario Kart World. That the next GTA is reportedly going to be between $80 or $90. Like, are you, like, do you Nintendo fanboys think of that? Oh, literally, game prices used to be $50. Back in the day when I was younger, they used to be $50. Then they moved up to $60. Then they moved up to $70. We was cool with $70. But the fact that the first game to start all of this $80 trend is Mario Kart World is insane to me. And I know you're gonna say you pay for microtransactions, you pay, bro. We're finna pay for GTA 6 $90 because hey, Nintendo said our fan base, they'll pay $80 for Mario Kart, and you niggas bought $80 Mario Kart. Mario Kart's not even a crazy graphical game. It's literally a driving game that you run on a track with. But you guys have let Nintendo believe in their head that they can literally do that and eat it up and buy it. Microsoft recently have said they're gonna price some of their games at $80 now just because of Mario Kart and increase some of their controller prices. Because hey, Nintendo did it, we can do it. I don't think that's gonna fly with Microsoft because hey, they fan base don't ride it like Nintendo fan base. I'm just keeping it a buck. I know we said much about the prices of stuff going up, but I had to talk about something that's really, doesn't make sense to me. Now, how does the Nintendo Switch 1 have an OLED screen, but the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have an OLED screen? Now, a lot of people said when it came out, it still good with an LCD. It still looks good with an LCD. My guy, my iPhone 16 is an OLED screen. You telling me Nintendo Switch 2, a portable gaming console, couldn't have an OLED screen? But the LCD looks good. The LCD looks good. They said this movie like that LCD. Nigga, the reason they have to have LCD is because in 4 years, they're going to release a Nintendo Switch 2 OLED edition. And guess what? You're still going to buy it for $700. Let's keep it a buck. Nintendo's going to scam you out of $700 for a version of the console that should have came out on release. But hey, that's the corporate side of Nintendo. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end off today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all later. By the way, I will be buying a Nintendo Switch 2 Mario Kart World Edition in a month, and also Donkey Kong Bonanza. So Nintendo fanboys, don't hate me.